And as we close, I just want to know how many of you all want to get a ship from the United States of America to sail to Gaza? Okay, so how do we do it? How do we do this? I mean, it costs a lot of money. Adam and his team have been raising money for so long to get those other ships out there. How are we going to do this? By reaching in your pocket. Yeah, by reaching in your pocket, and I don't know, Adam, do you have on the Free Gaza thing, if you donate for an American ship, can that be registered? Well, let's do that. Let's set a goal. Let's set $500,000 to get us a ship, and let's go to Gaza in the next 6 months. Hey.
Tonight, we are going to be hearing from two amazing people. Wright, who will speak first, she is a retired U.S. Army colonel. She is a retired diplomat. She represented the United States in very senior positions in a number of missions in very difficult places around the world. And she resigned from the service in protest against the Iraq War, among other things, but against U.S. what she saw as the problems of U.S. policy. So you can already see she's a brave and courageous individual. And I had the honor of going with Anne to Gaza and being with her on the Gaza Freedom March in Cairo. She's a real rock and very Adam Shapiro. Adam is the director of the Free Gaza movement. He was one of the organizers who put in years of work to raise the money, acquire the boats and the humanitarian aid, and field the extremely complicated bureaucracy that's required to take a ship anywhere, much less to try to break the siege of Gaza. And Adam was also a founder
on such short notice and on a rainy night, and it just goes to show how much concern there is going on right now about what is happening in Gaza. The main thing we're talking about tonight is a siege, trying to break the siege of Gaza, a siege that's been going on for years, a siege that is blockading 1.5 million people in a tiny little area, 25 miles long, 5 miles wide. A place where a year and a half ago, the Israeli military attacked Gaza and killed 1,440 people, wounded 5,000, left 50,000 homeless, and in that year and a half, virtually no reconstruction of supplies have gone in. The siege of Gaza, that means that Gaza is supported now through tunnels, hundreds of tunnels going under the Egyptian border. And a group of people, a tremendous group of people that represented tonight by Adam Shapiro, a tremendous group of people that have been organizing through the Free Gaza movement of taking boats in to try to break the siege, the siege by sea, to try to bring boats in as a symbolic measure, really to say these borders cannot be closed. And they've been doing that since 2008. I am a newcomer to that group. This is the first time I've been on any of the Free Gaza boats, and I will tell you that having been an organizer on a lot of different projects, that the Free Gaza group has done an incredible thing of being able to fundraise to buy, for God's sake, boats. I mean, how many of you all have ever fundraised? You know, it's something to be able to buy a camera for your organization, or to, get a bus to go down to Washington for a march. I mean, we think we're doing big things there. How about trying to fundraise for a boat, and then to have it all the way out in the Mediterranean, and the logistics of how you move a boat all the way into the area around Gaza, and trying to get people to come on the boats, to risk their lives, really, to come on those boats, to be the people of conscience of the world, to say we refuse to let the siege of Gaza stand. And then after, I think it's like 8 or 10 missions that they've done since the summer of 2008, and then Adam will tell you the whole history of it, but when they got this idea that let's just not take one boat or two boats, let's do a flotilla. Well, that's when I heard that word flotilla. I was thinking, I want to see this one. How in the world can they organize the international coalitions of bringing people together from all over the world? And as it turned out, nearly 750 people, and it was supposed to be 8 ships at once going in. Turned out to be 6 ships. 6 ships, followed 4 days later by another ship. 7 ships going into the Gaza area in a short period of time. And then, as we all know what happened, the Israeli military meeting the flotilla of ships in international waters. I was on one of the smaller ships, the Challenger. It was one of the Free Gaza ships. We had Challenger 1, Challenger 2. Both of those ships left Crete, the island just south of one of the Greek islands in the south. Both of those ships left on the same day, and within 12 hours of our leaving the port of Crete, both of the ships developed steering problems. Both of them, at virtually the same time. For the next 12, 14 hours, the captains of both of those ships maneuvered the ships, not using a wheel, but using the motors to guide the ships. Motors like this. And that's the way we were going across the Mediterranean, this way and then that way. But isn't that odd that both sets of steering gave out at virtually the same time? One of the ships went on into Crete and to have the steering mechanism fixed. The ship I was on, Challenger 2, went to the meeting place, a place out in the Mediterranean where all of these ships were together and then form a flotilla and go toward the Gaza coast. We were on our ship, we were offloaded from our Challenger 2 onto the giant Turkey ship, the Mavi Marmara. We were offloaded on there, and then our ship went on into Crete to get repaired. And as a result, I had the good fortune to be able to spend nearly 36 hours on the ship. 36 hours to get to meet the people that were on that ship. Nearly 600 people that were on it. Coordinated primarily by a Turkish NGO, a big NGO. It's called IHH, International Humanitarian Foundation. It's an NGO that has an international reach. They have projects all over the world for disaster assistance, for various kinds of relief. It's the organization that the Israeli government is saying that organization has ties with terrorism. It supports Hamas. IHH does have an office in Gaza, as do many NGOs, international NGOs. I met lots of people on that trip. I met some of the family members of the 9 persons who ultimately were killed in the Israeli assault on that ship. 9 people that were killed, 50 at least that were seriously wounded in an attack by the Israeli military. An attack that, in my opinion, should not have happened. We were in international waters. 70 miles off the shores of Gaza. The Israeli, who knows where the decision was made that an attack would take place in international waters. Was it by the Knesset committee that apparently had been briefed every single day about the plans for meeting these ships that were coming to break the Israeli blockade? Or was it a decision that was taken by the military commander on the scene, who for whatever reason decided that after his vessels had been trailing us for almost an hour, we could see their pin lights of their ships in the distance for well over an hour before finally about 4:30 in the morning, all of a sudden, Zodiac boats filled with 10 to 15 young men. And I mean young. These were kids. These were 18, 19, 20-year-olds. Just like we were sending to